Yeah.
That's a great quote. He had so many bangers.
He said it's a big fucking club.
Yep, and you're not in it.
You're not in it.
He had so many bangers.
Yeah, he did.
But there's a few people that are in the club. That's what's interesting. You know, there's a few people that get in that fucking club. And, you know, and then all of a sudden their opinions change.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they soften up on stances. Or they get killed on a campus.
Have you had somebody on your show that you thought was compromised?
Oh, yeah.
You don't have to name names, but...
Yeah. 100%. I've had people on my show that I guarantee are here to try to push a narrative. Yeah, 100%. No doubt. And my own, you know, I think in some cases it's obvious. And my job is to just keep them talking and let the internet do its job.
Can I teach you a tactic right now?
Sure.
That will be good for these people?
Fuck yeah.
All right. How much time do we have?
We got time.
Okay. All right. So this is a CIA method called elicitation. And it was invented by this guy, John Nolan. And so the basic premise is you're going to get the more sensitive information you need out of a person, the less questions you should be asking. So here's how it works. You can get sensitive information out of people better with statements than questions. So there's a few different types of these statements. So the first one is called a provocative statement. And the provocative statement is just making a commentary on what somebody said. Mm-hmm. So let's say I just went through X and Y and Z, and you're like, so basically, and then you kind of recap what I said.
Right.
And so no question, and then I'll kind of, and so I'll keep giving you a little bit more information. The second is triggering a need to correct the record. So let's say you and I are in a grocery store, and I say, Joe, let's say you don't get recognized. Let's say, go over there. I want you to, within 60 seconds, I want you to find out how much the girl that's stocking the shelf over there makes per hour. So you might go over there and be like, hey, how much do you make an hour? But instantly you're weird. And that feels like an interrogation, right? But if you went over there and you said, hey, I just read this article. Everybody that works at Whole Foods got bumped up to $26 an hour. That's fantastic. Congratulations. And she's like, what? We only make 22. And now she doesn't feel interrogated. And the answer came from correcting the record. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So now you're not a weirdo who's asking how much she makes.
Yeah.
So now you got the sensitive information, and it felt like it was just a flowing conversation. So the third is disbelief. So somebody says something, and you don't get Jamie to pull up anything. But the disbelief is like they say, oh, and I've even worked with X and Y and Z, or I've done this one thing, and you're like, what? There is no way. That just sounds impossible. And then they're like, no, and they'll keep going because there wasn't a question. So imagine if someone started telling you something sensitive and you're like, yeah, tell me more. Tell me more about that. It seems like you're kind of wanting to pull things out. So the more that you can use statements, the more they're just going to keep feeling completely comfortable giving you stuff.
What's interesting is I don't know those methods, but I do all three of those.
You do a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
I just wanted you to be able to consciously grab onto it.
I just do it instinctively.
Yeah. I've seen you do it many times.
When I smell bullshit, my instinct is going, hold on. So what you're saying is, and you just give a touch of incredulity, just a little bit of skepticism.
Yeah.
And then allow them to kind of like expand on it and go, okay, so you're saying that this, all right, so are you sure that that's the case? Because a lot of people think this. No. And I do it sort of naturally.
Yeah.
Because the most important thing is to listen as much as possible and keep them talking. And don't interrupt too much. But sometimes you have to. Sometimes you have to, like, you're pushing, so hold on. This is horseshit. Like, this is like, I'm going to get grilled for this online if I don't, like, stop this right dead in its tracks because I know and you know that you're lying.
Yeah.
So but you also got to, like, keep them on the hook. So, you don't want to submit them yet. You got to, like, look, you got out of the armbar. Crazy.
And a couple of those, you make them correct you, and you also say, like, well, that had to be challenging, or that sounds fascinating. And just those tiny little comments that just kind of keep them pulling along. The Russians did this to America during the Cold War. A submarine would pull into Singapore or Thailand or something, and some KGB guy would go up there's some 19-year-old sailor at a bar and say like, well, Russia already has all these specs, and it's amazing that Russian submarines are faster than U.S. submarines because our propellers are 19 feet wide. And the sailor's like, yeah, ours are 21. Like, just correcting the record. Just a tiny little thing correcting the record. And some 19-year-old kid gives away top secret information in 35 seconds.
Wow.
So that's where this stuff came about. And when you're if you work in the nuclear field, you have a top secret clearance, you have to go through anti-elicitation training before you leave the country and go spend time with some foreign national company.
God, I would hope so.
Yeah. And you know what the number one thing, in the first day of counterintelligence school, the first thing they say is, if you're a 4 and she's a 10 and she's interested in you, she's a spy.
That is the most primal and effective of all tactics is hot women.
It is.
And also, we see with James O'Keefe, chatty gay guys. You see a lot of like hot guys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you get chatty gay guys give up a lot of data.
Yeah.
They give up a lot of fucking information.
Way more than I would ever think.
Oh, it seems like the chatty gay guys are worse even than the guys that are trying to impress the women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder how far they have to go. I wonder how many guys they have to sleep with.
I don't want to know.
I wonder, I mean, for sure, there's been a straight guy or two, unless they recruit gay guys for the job, you know? Because gay guys wouldn't feel nearly as bad for having sex with another gay guy to get information out of him, I think, than a woman would. A woman would feel like a whore. You know, a man who fucks some other guy that he'd probably fuck anyway. It's probably no big deal. You know? Guys don't feel as bad about that.
And have you ever read Red Queen?
No.
It's about biological behavior. It talks about like adultery in females occurs during ovulation most of the time. And
really?
It's fascinating stuff in there. But one of them was that women are reluctant about sexual activity because they face the risk of raising a child alone. And it's not a conscious thing. But like there's some biological driver that says, if I am not careful here, I'm going to be stuck with this child alone. And and 200,000 years ago, if someone abandons you and you're pregnant and then you're raising a child on your own, you're kind of off the market. And no one's bringing you meat, no one's bringing you, fish out of the river and all this kind of stuff. So I thought that was interesting, and that may be one of the reasons that it might be easier for dudes to go do something like that.
Yeah, well, we'd have to ask James. There's got to be a reason. Well, it's also, I think, especially in politics, there's a large amount of in-the-closet gay guys that are in all sorts of levels of politics, all sorts of levels of government.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
I think it's been that way since Rome, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, it's a very peculiar kind of person in the first place that wants to control all the other people.
Yeah, well, you know the difference between today and Rome is the concealment of the shame about it. And I think most people don't know the difference between shame and guilt. I think that shame is a destructive force. There's nothing good about it. There's nothing positive about it. Guilt is focused on understanding the behavior, and shame is focused on the person, the identity of the person who did it. And there's nothing productive like beating the shit out of yourself emotionally. It does not make the other person who you've harmed any better. It doesn't make the world any better. It's down. I made a video on my YouTube channel basically giving a review and a tutorial of Planet Earth as if it was a video game. And like...
What's that video called?
I think it's called Earth is a Game.
Ooh.
So it's basically like a 20-minute, like, I'm without breaking character, like I'm giving a review. I'm actually in the game right now, and I'm making a tutorial and a review of this video game that we call Earth. And one of the things I said in the video is like the developers don't tell you like what the main goals are of the game. Like, how do I get on the leaderboard? What's the way that, how do you win? And we went through like 10 different metrics, but at the end of the day, I think what gets you on the leaderboard is, were you an upward force on most people's lives that you encountered? Did you leave people better than you found them? And that's about it. That's about fucking it.
Wow.
It's like, am I a downward force on other people? Am I pushing people down constantly? Or am I just doing something else? And you remember, like, the moment you launch into DMT, you're like, oh my God, I was worried about taxes. I'm 17 black holes away, and I was worried about my I-9 form or something.
Right.
I thought that was such a big deal. And it's the same thing that people, like, I think if you want to learn the number one, and this is my rambling, but the number one lesson I think most people can learn is from people that are dying, people on their deathbed. There's no better book you could read about how to master this game, about how to get good at Earth, is reading the regrets of dying people. Because there's so much clarity at these moments where you know you're going to die. Like, oh my God, I thought all this shit. I thought that I thought I had to get the Lexus. I had to impress everybody at the country club who didn't give a shit about me. And I didn't spend time with my grandkids. I didn't spend time with my kids. Like, everything gets so crystal clear in those moments that I think those are the best books in the world. Like, you read, I think there's a lot of nurses that work in hospice that write, like, collect a lot of these things. And it's just so much perspective on what we think is so important. And then at that moment, like, oh my God, I can't believe I prioritize all that shit.
Absolutely. I think this is a perfect way to end this.
Yeah, man.
That was awesome. Thank you very much. Okay, so Station 1, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Channel 1 or Station 1?
Station 1.
Station 1 on YouTube.
Yep.
And then your show is, what's the channel?
Or Chase Hughes on YouTube.
Chase Hughes and Station 1.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, man. Really appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Joe.
It's awesome. It's really, really good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. All right. Bye, everybody.
See ya.